All right, so in this video, we're going to go through how to build your team. So how do you go from that solopreneur life to actually starting to build a team, an agency, a full service coaching business, whatever your business is, you're going to need a team as you grow. But first, if you are jumping into this module before completing the previous modules, then please press pause. I know it's exciting, but really don't worry about hiring until you have about 3 paying clients. I sometimes even say 5. So obviously this depends on the business, but until you actually have the need to hire, don't even worry about this. You can watch this, learn about it, but please do not jump ahead. It can be very distracting. Do not hire because you are scared or unmotivated to do something. For example, so many people really don't like sales. They're scared of sales. It stresses them out. Totally get it. But don't hire a salesperson simply because you don't like sales. The reason being is you need to learn everything in your business. If you are a business owner, if you are a CEO, you can't just hire someone as a Band-Aid. You need to learn how to sell. So I have so much content in this course so you can overcome these things. So if you don't like sales, go to the sales module. You will get good at them. And honestly, these are life skills. Everything in your business is not just to help your business, it will help your life. And the other piece is don't hire because you have a problem. If you hire just to put a Band-Aid over a problem, then that problem is just going to be exacerbated. You need to fix the problem, find the solution, and hire someone to execute the solution. Okay, so when should you actually hire? You hire when it hurts. You hire when you're spending and wasting way too much time doing something that you can give to someone else. Don't rush this process. Hire the right person. You are way better off waiting and finding the right person because they will stay with you longer. They will just be better. So hire when it hurts. That is my motto. You'll hear me say this throughout this module. And how do you actually manage your team? You need to set KPIs for each of your hires. What I mean by that is set some sort of measurable metric that you can use to measure the success of your hires. So if it is a salesperson, what is their close rate? If it is a VA, how quickly are they getting to your emails? Are they answering your emails? As long as you have those systems in place, right? In the systems section, you learn how to create that. As long as you have those systems in place, you should have deadlines for absolutely everything happening in your business. Is your hire meeting those deadlines? So set those KPIs so you can ensure that everything is being done just like you need it to be, because you need to have those guardrails in place when you're building your business. Make sure your KPIs are clear. Make sure that they're measurable. Because again, what you're going to do is you're going to monitor these KPIs and review them with these employees of yours on a regular basis. I feel like this doesn't need to be said, but I'm going to say it. Don't micromanage. Do not be the person that micromanages. Don't focus on every little minutia. What matters is not how long it's taking them to do something, but that they're doing something, that they're meeting your goals and KPIs. And then how do you keep a team? You create an environment that keeps people working with you, that keeps them wanting to work with you. You want people to want to work with you for a long time. You want to give them the opportunity to grow, to improve. If they're not growing, they get bored. So you want to create a culture where contractors feel a part of a team. If you're hiring contractors, which in the beginning, that's who you'll hire. This is something honestly as simple as giving them a custom email. So if I hired somebody named Jenny@susiecrawford.com, that helps them feel like they are more than just a contracted hire, like they're part of the team. Letting them know what your company mission is. So if your company mission is to become the social media manager that completely transforms the way fitness businesses show up online, then share that with them and consistently remind them of it. Another way to really make someone feel part of a team is just having a shared Slack channel, shared Slack channel with you, that person, other members of your team, where you're constantly sharing updates, sharing wins, any amazing feedback from clients. Have that and give that feedback consistently. That makes people feel like they're a part of something bigger. Even as small business owners, we want to feel like we're a part of something bigger, like we actually have a purpose. It doesn't mean that we have to create this like corporate 9 to 5 feel. No, but you do want your team to feel like they're a part of something. And that really, really will increase the retention rate for your team members. Okay, so now we're going to actually dive into how you hire, how you find these people, how you post the jobs, what that looks like. So how do you hire? The first thing to note is you need to hire A players. A players are people that are like 10x, right? Like they go above and beyond, they learn quickly, their results are always great. They don't just perform at KPI, they perform better than KPIs. So hire A players. People constantly ask, like, do I hire people that are really good or no, because that's more expensive? You hire A players. It makes it so much easier in your business. Is it going to be more expensive? Probably. Is it going to be better for your business? Yes, because they don't cause issues in the business. They find solutions. They do 5 to 10x the work. And you don't overhire. Less is better. Keep your business simple. Keep your business simple at all stages. Even when you're like this 7-figure business, keep it simple, man. So simple businesses are, when you have less people in your business, there's just, everything is easier. Communication is easier. Congruency. So like the way one person is completing the work for a client is going to be similar to how another person completes work for a client when you only have 2 hires. When you have 20, it's really hard to keep everything congruent. Simplicity, again, keep it simple. It allows you to scale. Commitment. The less people you have, the more committed. So if one person is working 10 hours a week, they're going to be more committed than 10 people working 1 hour a week. So keep it simple. Do not overhire. Who are you going to hire? So your first hire is always going to be an outsourced version of you, outsourced help. So it's not going to be a salesperson. It's not going to be like a CFO. Your first hire is an outsourced version of you, because remember, you hire where it hurts. So where does it hurt the most? If you are a coach and what hurts the most right now is servicing your clients, then you need help servicing your clients. You need help. Maybe it's with, responding to client emails, helping with customer service, checking in on clients, booking meetings. So your first hire is going to be your like VA. If you're a social media manager and where it hurts is actually getting things done for clients, then your first hire is going to be a junior social media manager or a VA that can help you get stuff done for clients. Your second hire is going to be more help. It's going to be another version of you. Unless you found someone that is incredible and can get all of this done just as one person. Your next hire is likely going to be a salesperson, because the reason why a salesperson isn't your first hire is because you don't hire until you have clients, right? You don't hire until you have 3 to 5 clients. So a salesperson comes in when you're around 6 figures or more. The salesperson comes in when you realize that you are your sales bottleneck, when you've figured out and nailed how to get a consistent lead flow, when you have figured out and nailed how to close in one call. When you've done this, you've mastered sales. Now, at this point, because you have a consistent lead flow, because you have consistent calls getting booked on your calendar, you've kind of created a bottleneck for yourself, right? Like you still need to manage your current clients, but you need sales to grow. So this is when you hire a salesperson, when you can actually set this aside and say, okay, I need somebody to handle my lead flow. So how do we hire a salesperson? There's 2 types. There's an appointment setter and there's a closer. An appointment setter is somebody that sets your meetings. A closer, someone that closes. So you always hire a setter first. Let me go back to this. So like a closer, you call this a setter. You call these appointment setters, meeting setters, lead gen specialists, whatever you want to call them. They are people that get meetings set, get sales meetings set. So they generate the leads and get them to set the meeting. And then you go in and you close it. Once you get to the point where you have so many meetings, then you bring in the closer. So for a setter, it doesn't matter how they're generating the leads, because at this point, now that you're looking at hiring a setter, you already have a solid lead gen plan in place. If you don't, then go back to the sales module, because there's so many ways that I've listed and taught you in that module for how to do this. So it doesn't matter how they're doing it. You have one that's very specific to your business. What matters is that they're generating meetings on a regular basis. You'll have very, very clear KPIs for this, and you'll monitor that. So let me actually go back 1 second. So you have a setter and a closer. Do not focus on the closer yet. This is later. The first sales hire that you have is a setter. You do this when you have become the bottleneck in your business for sales. But you also need to do this when you have nailed this process and someone will take it over. So the setter is setting meetings for you, setting sales meetings. They're generating leads. Maybe they're going into Facebook and they're going into the groups. Maybe they are managing your ads and making sure that all leads that come in have an engagement. They're engaging with all leads that come in and connect with them and then set the meetings. So they're setting the meetings for you. Okay, so what skills does this person have? They're intelligent, they're sharp, they're empathetic, they have effective communication skills, they're positive, they can handle rejection. Most importantly, they're hungry and they're motivated. Finding salespeople it can be tricky because you need to find people that meet this description. They have to be hungry and motivated, but at the same time, they cannot be poor communicators. They're setting meetings for you. They are essentially the face of your brand while doing this, because they could be doing this, through their own profile, but more than likely they're doing this from yours. They're just taking over your profile and engaging with people and setting meetings. So they have to be super smart, really sharp, and know how to communicate. Okay, so when we have our hires in place, and I really only went through like hiring a salesperson because, again, your first 2 hires are an extension of you. So you will know what to look for these hires. You will know if you're looking for a VA, a junior social media manager, an executive assistant, whatever you want to call it, you'll know what you need for that. For a salesperson, it is very specific, and I always recommend a setter first. So once you have a person, you need to train them, right? How do you train them? Yes, it can be time consuming, but the thing is if you do this once and you do it right, you don't have to do it again. And you can also create a system for this. You can create SOPs for how to train, and I highly recommend it. So again, if you need to do that, go to the systems module, learn how to do it, and put a system in place so you're not recreating the wheel every single time. So how do you train? All right, so 4 steps. First step, you give people access to any educational materials. You give them access to this course if they need to. They need to learn ads, learn it from this course. The key here is if you need to educate the person that you've hired, the goal is not to be hosting like training sessions every time you hire. Either have the materials to give them or do this training session for them but record it. So the next time somebody's brought on, you're just sending them that recording. After they've been trained, and when I say trained, I don't mean trained in like company specific things, right? Not trained on how to use like your company Trello board or trained on how to use Slack, more trained on like, this is how we manage Instagram. This is like how we create magnetic content, that kind of stuff. So trained on like very job related skills. Step 2, then it's time to actually review what they're going to do. You're going to review their job responsibilities and give them, after you review it with them, because you're going to meet them face to face over Zoom. And after that, you're going to give them something that they can actually take away. So you'll connect with them and actually talk them through, okay, as a ads manager, as a media buyer, these are the things that you're going to have to go through. You're going to manage XYZ client. I'm going to show you how to do our team Trello board. I'm going to show you like what we do in Slack. You need to send me your materials by Tuesday at this time. Whatever it is, you're going to go through the job responsibilities. But the key here is after you have that meeting, it's not just the end of it, right? So you need to then connect with them, or I'm sorry, you need to then send them something that they can have and access at any time. So whether that's a recording of the meeting that you had with them, it's a PDF that walks them through the responsibilities, a video of you explaining it, whatever it is, there has to be something that they can go to and access. All right, so after that, then you have step 3. Now they're gonna actually start doing their work. You're gonna have them work alongside you or another team member and like see how you get things done. You can do this live. I have done this before as like a Loom video. So really recording through a screen grab what I do day to day and then passing it off. Depends on how you want to handle it. Step 4, you're then going to slowly give them responsibilities. Do not throw everything onto them at once. You need to slowly give them responsibilities and then continuously review their work so that you can ensure that they're hitting their KPIs. You can have them submit things via Slack. You can have them email things, however you want to manage it. Then you can pass more work onto them as they've proven themselves. And then after that, you're going to, so now that they're trained, you're then going to meet with your team members, whether it's one-on-one to start. Eventually you'll get to the point where these are just group meetings, 1 time per week, 15 minutes to 30 minutes. And you're going to discuss those KPIs that you had set at the beginning and strategies on how they can continue hitting them or how they can improve them. And that's truly the training process. So 4 steps to train, and then moving forward, you really need to make sure those guardrails are in place. Okay, so where do you actually hire? These are the 4 places that I recommend you take a look at. Facebook groups, this is the number 1. This is my go-to for where you should hire. Paid groups, also my go-to. I would combine these, but I put them separate so you can see. So Facebook groups are like women helping women entrepreneurs, boss moms, those groups. Paid groups, that's like this. Freelancer to CEO is a paid group. Tap this network. People can refer you to people that they know are good hires. A referral network. So this is, anybody you know in person, friends, family, etc. And then job sites. This is like LinkedIn, Indeed, Craigslist. I don't recommend this. I think that you can look at like LinkedIn later, but truly the best way to start is groups, whether it's Facebook groups, paid groups, and your own network. All right, so how do we find people in Facebook groups? 6 steps. So step 1, you need to find the Facebook groups that are related to the role that you're hiring for. If you're hiring a media buyer, go to an ads group. If you're hiring a social media manager, go to a social media manager group. Hire a VA, go to VA group. You can also find them in other groups like a mom's group, an entrepreneur group. So it's up to you. And you can obviously post across multiple groups. So you're going to post in the groups, and then I have templates of what you can say in your actual Facebook post. You'll find those in your portal. And then you're going to connect with the best responses. So who stood out? Who was different? Who went above and beyond? Because remember, when we were learning how to sell, the key to us selling our services is standing out, is being different. If you want to hire an A player, you need to hire someone that stands out. That's different. You're going to reach out to them and you're going to ask them for samples of their work. And ideally, this is something they've done in the past so that you can, this is what I did for this client. This is what it looked like, and any proof of results as well. If they don't have samples, then ask them for a mock-up. Say, okay, so one of my clients is a fitness studio. They're a local studio and they're looking to grow their presence. Can you send me samples of XYZ? Samples of posts that you would make, captions that you would do. This is going to give you a good indicator as to how they work, because so many people can interview well and then their work is just crap. So if you know before hiring like what it's going to take to train someone, you can set aside time for them. You can plan for that. And then you're going to obviously do an actual interview with them. So if their work appears to be like up to your standards, then you can interview them. And I have interview questions in the portal as well. So this is the guide to how you hire. Just remember, your first hires, don't do it until it hurts. Don't do it until you need to. Don't hire for the sake of hiring, and don't overhire. All right, any questions? Post them in the group.